Well, the service takes the form of remembering. The service is not for religious people, it's for people who believe and people who don't believe. But it's remembering some of the atrocities that took place and have taken place, not just the Holocaust, but genocides worldwide. And in fact, those are still going on in Myanmar and with the Yazidis in Iraq. They were all suffering not because of something they'd done, but because of who they were. So we remember them in form of readings and music, and we have an hour or so to contemplate, and we're doing what we can to keep that memory alive, which is very important. Not just for the present generation, but the next generation. They have to understand what went on and learn from history.
Absolutely, and you say keep the memory alive, but also, like you say, there are still awful incidents going on around the world. So it sounds like it's raising awareness for those things as well.
It is. Well, that's it. That's exactly right. That we must not forget. We keep saying, and we've always said, never again. But unless we remember what happened, then, for example, for children, hearing about the Holocaust, unless you bring it alive to them, it's just a story in a book.
And we were just talking before, you said you've been involved with this service for 20 years, is it?
Yes, I've been sort of with Organiser with Carol Jemison.
Incredible. How have you seen it change over those 20 years?
It's changed in that we're getting now just as much, if not greater, support from the public, and for I have to say, government and members of Parliament, and from the various organisations and the churches have been very, very supportive of and helpful in arranging these services. We tend now we do stay in Douglas now because the churches are larger, and we've always had really good attendances. The things that we have introduced and continue, for example, that the secondary schools all take part with their readings. And again, as I said, this is very important for the younger generation.
Of course, because you can hear people say, how important is it to uphold these memorials every year? But like you say, it's so easy to forget. I'm assuming if we don't hold these sorts of services and people forget the atrocities from history, then what's to stop them happening again?
Well, it's education as well for the younger people, for them to know, as I say, what went on, because our lives are in their hands now, aren't they? They're going to plan for the future, policies for the future, and if they've got foremost in front of them the need to celebrate our differences, that's very, very important.
And your theme this year is Stand Together. What's the motivation behind that?
Well, this is there's a theme each year. This is a national theme throughout the UK, and it's a case of saying how people stood together against the atrocities in all these, I say, the Holocaust and all these genocides in the past.
Lovely.
What we need to do is talk about when it is, where it is.
I was going to write that for the newsreader to read, because then it means that we've got you talking about the nice stuff, and then we can talk through the details.
Yeah. Do you want to know about anybody who's taking part? People taking part?
I can write that down as well.
Well, I can tell you. For example, this year we've got the Isle of Man bard Zoe Camel. There, you can read. That's what she's going to say. It actually that actually responds to our island. It's a really nice poem.
That's lovely. She's very good, isn't she?
Yeah. It's a case of telling people, look, come along and bring the younger generation with you to the service. So,
would you like to mention that then? Should I say?
Also, you can have you sort of got a message for the people of the Isle of Man? Yeah.
So you mentioned this service is going on throughout the UK, but for the Isle of Man specifically, do you have a message for the Manx people with this service?
I'd like to say to everybody, do take the time to come and join I call it a congregation, to take part, to listen. And I think it's important that if you've got a child or a grandchild, bring them along. Let them listen also. It's very, very, very important for their education.
And so it's this. Sorry.
And the other thing is that I am going to talk about is the need to ensure that our education department positively in the curriculum teach about the Holocaust and the genocides, not on a casual basis. Well, maybe we'll do it, maybe we won't. To ensure that it is in the curriculum.